What's up YouTube? My name's Kenneth. Today I'm going to do a solve video on the CrazyBad 4x4x6 Fisher Cuboid puzzle from Calvin's Puzzle. And if you didn't see it, I did a unboxing video of this puzzle already. So anyway, I'm going to scramble it first. And when you scramble it, you got to first scramble it like a normal cuboid, and then you can do the cool shape-shifting moves. That way you can get it really scrambled. And anyway, during this video, I'm going to give you kind of a commentary on how I'm solving the puzzle, what my method is, anyway, I think it's a kind of a fun method. It's definitely my method, and I definitely encourage you guys, if you get the puzzle, to try to solve it yourself in a way that makes sense to you. And the way I solve it is really unique to just the way I solve puzzles. So it's definitely not the best way for everybody, but it's the way I do it. So anyway, the first thing I'm doing right now is I'm solving the centers. I do the red center first, and then I do the orange center. You can see the orange center on the right there, and the left you can see the red center. And all I do is those two centers, and then I'm actually going to solve the red side. So first I'm going to do the red corners, and then do all of the red edges except for one edge. And this is very similar to how I solve a 3x3 Rubik's Cube. And when I'm doing that, I leave that last center empty so that I can use it as a keyhole later on. And so that's what I'm doing here. And I think this is the end of the red side. And now I'm going to do the orange side. And first, I'm going to do the orange corners using the CLL algorithms. And I used to have them all memorized. Now, not so much. But anyway, I'm going to complete the orange corners now. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the space I left, the last edge on the red side. I use that as a keyhole. You can see it now, so that I can slide in the orange edges right there. I slid in one, and I can do the rest of the orange side, and I'm going to like speed through this as well. So I'm going to do all the orange edges. And finally, all that's left are the final two orange edges and the final two red edges, and I can solve those simultaneously like I did right here. So now the red side and the orange side are complete, and now I'm going to move on to the edge pieces. And now when I say edge pieces, I mean the edge pieces of a 4x4x6, but on this puzzle they look like center pieces. So right now I'm trying to do the white edges and then the green edges, and I can do those just with intuition. So there's the white edges are done right now, and the green edges are almost done. Just use a little intuition to get that. It's not that difficult. And finally, all that's left are the yellow and blue edges. And I can actually just use the 4x4 parity algorithm to switch two edges to flip them. And I can do that to flip these two edges. So I just use a couple of setup moves, and now I'm doing the 4x4 parity algorithm. And I kind of left this in so you guys can maybe follow along on this algorithm if you guys know the algorithm. And you can see kind of how difficult it is to hold a puzzle, and how it really is hard to wrap your mind around what goes where. And so that kind of shows you something you might be a little familiar with. And now all that's left is to do that move one more time to get the final yellow and blue edge. So now all the edges are done. All that's left are the centers. And now I'm going to start with these outer centers, the ones nearest the top and the ones nearest the bottom. And normally what I do is I focus on one kind of edge grouping, and I try to do those ones first. And I forget what color I'm going to do first. I think maybe this yellow-green or something like that. But I try to do one first and then move on from there and do the rest of them. So that's what I'm doing here. And this is a pretty time-consuming kind of step. It takes a lot of thinking. I have to do a lot of kind of setup moves, and then I use the commutator I came up with a long time ago when I first got the 4x4x6. So you can see this one takes me a long time, and but finally I get all those outer center pieces, and I'm then pretty happy because that step takes forever, and all that's left are the center pieces, I guess, the inner center pieces. And you can see they're all kind of misoriented still, and this is the last step. Normally the center pieces don't have an orientation on a 4x4x6, but because of the modification they do have an orientation, and it makes it slightly more difficult, but you can overcome that with just like a commutator that will cycle 3 of these pieces, and that's what I'm using here. And you can just move them around and get them where they need to go. And here you can see that algorithm. I'm gonna get this last blue center in, and it's a pretty easy algorithm. and I'm just finishing it right now. And so you can see the blue, white centers are all done. And now I'm going to move on to another one. And then finally, you know, once these centers are done, the puzzle's done. So anyway, it's a really fun puzzle to solve. I very much enjoyed it. To kind of show you the difficulty of this compared to a normal 4x4x6. The 4x4x6, I went and looked, and I think the solve video I did was just under 7 minutes, and the solve for this one is exactly 13 minutes and a second. And then also another comparison, the 4x4x6 Crazy Pill, that one took about 13 or 14 minutes as well. So this is about the same difficulty as the Crazy Pill. They're very difficult puzzles. They're a lot of fun. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this solve video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks guys for watching, and of course, have a great day.